This video is for inlay. I got some copper wire and I have a hobo here just laid out. Here's just a 90 sharpened up, and I have my line started here. So I'll take and I'll finish cutting this line. Turn it over, go back. You have to back cut your lines from where you started so the ends look good. Doesn't really matter with this, but I didn't get to the end right here where I am, so get it there. So there's that. Now I have my line a little wavy though, but I'm doing it just without my microscope. Can't see great. And here's a tool holder that a friend made me years ago. And I have, whoop, wrong tool holder, sorry. I have a old burr that I use. Here's the burr. What I do is, after they're dead, I grind off this part and I make punches out of them. So this one here, a little screwdriver tip. So what I'll do is I come in and just tap this away along here on an angle. Oh, I can't see that with my finger in the way, sorry. So I just tap along here. And what it's doing is it's raising up that edge of the metal. I'm about a 45 degree or 40, I don't know, it's maybe a 50 degree angle. I'm not really great with angles. I just tap it and raise up that little edge of metal. And the first thing I do when I'm cutting this is I do the inlay on the coin. Notice I don't have anything else cut, because you can do the inlay if you get a little shorter on the edge over here or on the other edge over there. You can just make the hat thinner, you know, or change his head. It's a hobo nickel. Let me turn this over here. So now I raised up that little edge right here. It's just raised up. And the wire, it's just electrical wire. You don't have to go out and buy expensive wire. What I want to do is I want to create a channel that wire will fit into. And it's not wide enough now, so I have to go a little wider. And you have to open up both sides. So I'm taking this side now here and opening up that. I have this tool holder. It's short. It's maybe 5 inches long. This was made by a friend of mine back in the 80s, maybe. Sent me a couple of them. I have ones that I buy from Engraver Company. You know, the Engraver Company, upside down. And they're like maybe 6-8 inches long. I don't know. Didn't measure them. And same style. Turned down. That's an engraver chisel. Worn out, but got to resharpen it. That's a flat. And I use these a lot. They're cheap. Easy way. This one was homemade. I think it's like wrought iron or something. And or steel, tool steel, whatever. And he made me up a few of them. And I've used them for years. So here and going along. Whoops, slipped there, but it'll get touched up. Here's the hammer. It's just a very, very small hammer. Like this one, the GRS hammer. This is the hammer that I use the most. So, see the faces are a lot smaller. This one, friend made for me, Ronnie Harrell. Use it all the time. This one here I tend to be real heavy-handed with because you want to rush and get the job done. You're like smacking the hammer real hard and pounding the stuff in, and you end up beating the hell out of the work. Okay, so now we'll see if this wire fits close in there. Let me see, because I use the microscope. So, alright, so I have this here. Now, what I'll do is I'll tack it down. I take, and this is an old engraver punch that I ground the end off and then just smashed it with a hammer. Like, just took it here in the vise and just tapped down the edge. Smooth it out. Then what I do is I take a rough diamond stone and I just tap it on here. That's Sam Alfano showed you that in his video. Really good stuff. And then I'll just take and hit this here, hold this. I'm holding the wire. And I'll just tap it. Oh, let me get it so you can see it. And the wire cut off, but here we are with the wire. I just hold it. Now I just set that in there. Let's see, we're zoomed in all we can go. So now what I'll do is I'll work this way outward here and work this way. So let me just turn the work a little bit so my fingers aren't in the way. Sorry, but here we are. Gotta get out of the way of the camera. So this side's pinned in, and then we'll go down this way. I didn't get that. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit and move all this way. A little rough to see with my fingers in the way. Sorry. And just move forward. Okay, so now got it almost pinned in. The end's got to get done. Sorry here. Try to hold it so you can see. When I get to this end, the way I do it is I just keep going back and forth like this, up and down, and tap the metal. Now I'll go back and forth here. I'm not saying this is the way you should do it. It works for me. So if I go here and I get to that end and I go back, these pieces here just come out. if there's like a little rough end, it's a hobo nickel. It's not like you're working on, you know, $5,000 knife, you know, or something. It's a nickel. So if this here piece pulls out a little bit here, I'll just shorten the hat brim a little bit. So there's the coin. Let me sand it down a little bit here. Just one of those nail files. Stole it from the wife. So here's that. So this is copper inlaid. And shut the light off. There's copper inlaid in there. And what you have to do is you have to take a square graver, and after you smooth it all out, let me get this over here. After you smooth it all out, you have to take, you can go over it with a flat, or you could leave it raised, or you could make a little punch and make little square punches or something on it just to give it some detail, or cut some little lines. But on either side, like right next to it, you have to cut a line, and that'll bring out the copper inlay, because you throw copper in there and then after you tone it and everything, it's just not going to be able to be seen. If you take it and you put your you put your two lines there, those lines will be dark, and it just makes everything pop. You know, here's a little acid on there, a little acid on it, and then wipe it down with a cloth. There's your copper. It's a quick, easy, fast deal to do. It's fun, and it adds value to your carvings. Just take your time, give it a try. The tools are very simple, and you saw it just took me a few minutes. This is an old rod. You could use brass. You know, people use brass so it doesn't do anything. I had these engraver punches. They're beating punches. They're really good. This is an old scribe. Where is it? Here's my tool thing. I have an old scribe with a smaller dot on it. I use that for like when I do hats, you know, punching in the background. There's an old scribe that I had that broke, and ground it off for that. So give it a try. Let's see what you could do. That's it.